Hi, Susan Bushell, energy therapist here. I'm an accredited EFT master trainer with AMET, the world's oldest, largest, and only nonprofit EFT training organization. I've been in private practice in energy therapy since 2003, and I offer one-on-one session work, both in person and online. And I teach, train, and supervise EFT students and practitioners. I wanted to talk to you today about a common question I get at my trainings, and that question is, why can't we just focus on the positive and tap that in? And here's why. If you could have changed the problem with positive affirmations alone, it would have happened already. What I have noticed over many years of working with people is that you first need to address the problem completely and thoroughly. And I know it sounds crazy because we're told in so many different ways, don't focus on the negative, just focus on the positive and leave the rest. But in actual fact, what we need to do is focus in on the problem, focus in on the negative, because it is actually running the show. So think about it. Think about the things that you've been trying to change in your life. The places where you find yourself trying to use willpower to change or trying to talk yourself into doing it differently. And you maybe have done this for years or even decades and it's still there. Maybe it gets better for a little while, but then it creeps back. So here's why. We need to address the energy of the discomfort that happened when that problem, that limiting belief, that uncomfortable event happened. A part of us has not fully processed that event or that incident. For example, you're in grade 1 and there's a bully in your school and they corner you and you begin to feel frightened. And perhaps in your mind and in your body you feel rather scared and you think to yourself, I can't stand up to this person. I'm not powerful enough. I'm not strong enough. And life carries on. Decades later, you realize that you tend to avoid conflict. That you will even go through a lot of discomfort in other ways to avoid conflict. And it's because those early experiences with that bully or other bullies or other occasions where you felt cornered and helpless have taught you, I just can't do anything about this. I'm powerless to change this. There's nothing I can do here. And you learn to avoid uncomfortable, conflictual situations. But you're also recognizing that sometimes you need to address things rather than run from them. You need to address them rather than avoid them. And it might even be taking a toll on your relationships or even your relationship with yourself. So what you need to do is do the detective work, become more mindful and aware of what's really going on behind the scenes. And you might need a little bit of help with this. You might need to work with a practitioner to gently unpack, using gentle questioning techniques to unpack the root of the problem, what's going on behind the scenes. But once you find that, you focus in on the negative and you tap that down first. And I know it sounds crazy, but put the positive to one side for now. We'll get back to it, but focus in on the discomfort. Focus in on the squirmy tummy, the fluttery feeling, the tight shoulders, the feeling like there's nothing I can do about this. I got to get out of here, right? That kind of stuff. And focus in on how that feels and clear that first. So tapping on, I'm helpless to change this. There's nothing I can do. Even if I tried to fight, it wouldn't work, right? The other is far more powerful than me. So tapping on that first, bringing the SUDS level, what we call the subjective units of distress, bringing that level down first, getting that to 0, and then going back and checking if there's any other aspects. Keep focusing on the negativity, getting really curious about it, and being very, very thorough with all those negative beliefs and memories and even smells and tastes and sounds and tone of voice that you heard at the time, and let all of that clear through your body. Let your body finish processing that uncomfortable event or memory first. And a very interesting thing often happens is if you do that and you're thorough with that, the positive simply lands in your lap. And it looks like this. Something like, I was pretty good at protecting myself when I was a little kid. I knew how to get out of the way, right? Or something like, well, I never would have wished that on anybody, but at least I know now that anything life throws at me, I can deal with it, right? Or it might look like, even though he wasn't very good at it, I recognize that he was trying hard, and I'm thankful for that. Or, well, that bad guy was pretty bad to me, and I got hurt in the process, but I wonder what happened to him that he had to be so awful to me, right? So these are very, very powerful positive affirmations, and once that feeling or that awareness arrives, that's where you begin to tap in the positive. So usually the way I do this, and the way I teach my EFT students, is ask the person how that feels. How does it feel to suddenly find yourself wondering how the bad guy in your life got to be so mean? Notice that feeling of compassion and awareness, and locate that. Even get specific, like where do you feel that feeling in your body? Or if that feeling had a color, what color would it be? And then start at the top of the head, right? The point of 100 points. Start up here and tap on that first. Tap that in there. It's a very, very powerful point. And I do tend to save it for the positive. And then continue to tap all the points. Do a couple of rounds even. Tapping in the positive feeling, the positive affirmation, or the positive color, right? They all work. And the client will do one of those. Right? They'll often take a nice deep breath, and their shoulders will drop. They'll start to look relaxed. They might even say, wow, that feels weird. And you can say, like, good weird or bad weird? No, that feels weird, but kind of good. I actually don't want that feeling to go away. Right? Or, boy, I haven't felt this way in a long time. So that's why I suggest waiting for the positive, doing the legwork, putting in the work on the negativity first. It's like shining a spotlight or a flashlight on the gremlin in your life first. Deal with that, neutralize that, and then wait. And the positive will usually arrive. And it'll be custom designed. It'll be just beautifully designed for you. I hope that helps. I hope that answers the question, why don't we just tap in the positive? If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me through my contact page on my website, freeyoremotions.com. Bye for now.